Are we okay? We're going to fucking... We've got to do the fucking shit that we need for fucking drug abuse. No! No! Are you listening? Oh, you're gonna like this. You're really gonna fucking like this.
Ladies, are you on the market for a real man? Are you looking for real love? Are you looking for a boy who loves his mom? Well, look no further than Lorne Lynn Armstrong. I'm going to be speaking about Lorne in his late 40s. The Lorne, peak Lorneography with Winnie, Casey, Debbie, and a little bit of Ramona. Lorne was in touch with his mom almost every day. She was more in his life than anyone else. I mean, you know how he spoke about her. And, oh, my mom's going to love you, and you got to be my mom. You treat her right, she'll treat you right. It was kind of creepy. Peter Pan syndrome, a.k.a. Little Prince, Little Princess. A grown man should not have this, but they do. And a syndrome is not a condition or a disorder. It's a collection of symptoms, and Lorne fits a lot of them. Typically, this results from having a helicopter parent, which I don't think Lorne had, or he got too much praise and attention. So, to sum it up, a lot of psychologists call this emotional incest. There you go. That's all you need to know with Lorne Armstrong. But what it really is, what this really is sort of failure to launch, I guess. It is a situation in which a grown man is immature and childish and doesn't act his age. Now, I read somewhere, someone said in today's culture, it's safe to assume that both men and women can exhibit this behavior, hence the little prince, little princess. But most of the time when you see the studies, it's about a man. So that's why we're talking about late 40s Lorne Lynn Armstrong. This isn't to be confused with little emperor syndrome, which is when boys have no siblings and they act like little dictators and tyrants. So Lorne has Peter Pan syndrome. How do I know? Because he acts like a child. Someone much younger than he is supposed to be. He throws temper tantrums. We all know he does. And if he had the chance, he would probably party all night with people 10 to 15 years younger than he was. Because that's something Captain Douchebag would do, because he wants to be cool, and if there were girls in there, God help him. He acts as if women should serve him, and he expects to be taken care of and pampered on demand. Will you kiss my pimple? I wish you were here to take care of me, Kayla. And he will take and take and take, but never give. The dude can't maintain a long-term, any kind of stable romantic relationship. And I would guess that any girls that he thought he had a relationship with probably ended up as enemies to him. At least, that's my opinion. I don't know much about them, but I do know that the way Lorne ends things is never good. I don't know about this either, but one of the traits is like, Lorne is needy. He definitely has attachment issues. But one of the features, I should say, of this syndrome is that it might take him a long time to purchase something that he needs, to make that commitment to buy it. He would throw himself at women immediately, but when it comes to purchasing something important, it may take him a while to finally just throw the money down, because it's a big decision. He doesn't have any close friends, or maybe a few, and his friends consist mostly of his mom and then people that he drinks with. Who does that sound like? Mr. Penis. Lorne is passive-aggressive. The things he says to some of these women when he's not screaming and abusing them, he's passive-aggressive. He has a tendency to engage in indirect expressions of, I guess you would say, hostility, subtle insults, sullen behavior, stubbornness, or his deliberate failure to accomplish anything. I'm working on it. I'm getting there. Just coming slow. I mean, all of this is complete Lorne. Like, they should just change this from Peter Pan syndrome to Lorne syndrome or Little Lorne instead of Little Prince. Another main feature is narcissism and a childish selfishness. So if he finds anything to be inconvenient, he won't do it. That's why he'll never change. That's why he won't quit smoking. He won't quit drinking. The only reason he's not drinking now, I think he's still maybe sneaking it, is because of probation. But he won't. He's selfish, he's childish, and he's a narcissist. Anything, as I said before, that's inconvenient, he won't deal with. He found Winnie's sexual assault inconvenient, and he didn't want to deal with it. So I think Lorne fits that. He's definitely financially irresponsible. I don't know how much money he has. I know he gave a lot away apparently to scammers. But ladies, this would be like a guy who parties too much or plays, goes out and does all of his skydiving and fishing trips and everything. Or, in general, just chasing after women. And that's Lorne. If he had the money, he would blow it all on these catfish women like Amanda James and everything else. He doesn't ever think anything is his fault. And he blames everyone else for everything that goes wrong in his life. I don't know if he does this, but a common trait of Peter Pan syndrome would be like, if he doesn't have anybody else to blame, he blames his mom. Now, we saw a little bit of this when she criticized him, and he immediately went to, "You think my siblings are so perfect." So maybe he does blame his mom for some things, but not to these women. He uses her as a bargaining chip. Lorne Armstrong is Peter Pan syndrome. Emotional incest here. He's a grown man who is childish and immature. He will definitely never grow up. He does act like a child. He thinks women should serve him. He can't maintain long-term relationships. He's commitment phobic on anything outside of a relationship, which is just so bizarre. Few, if any, close friends. And his mom is considered, especially when he was dealing with Winnie, his mom was his best friend, his mom. He's passive aggressive, insults, hostility, stubborn, narcissism, childish selfishness. If he finds anything inconvenient, as I said, he'll just resist doing it, financially irresponsible, and he never thinks anything is his fault. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about everything that Lorne's ever done and will ever do. He is Peter Pan. He is the Little Prince. So, women, if you have men who exhibit, I would say, at least 3 of these traits, or if their mom is involved too much in their life, you need to leave, you need to run, you need to get away, because you don't want to marry Lorne Lynn Armstrong. I have another video coming out about false memory and why I think Lorne deals with what he does and why his dreams are, irrational and nonsensical. But we were talking about Peter Pan syndrome. It's just my opinion, but every one of those traits, all of the key traits, fit him. So, Lorne, you will be known as the Little Prince from now on, sir. You're still a piece of shit. I still hate you. But you're royalty now, sir. Congratulations. I love you guys. Please like, subscribe, and share. I will talk to you in the next one.